On today's video, we are going to be making gorgeous spring decor out of thrifted items and items that I've had in my garage. The first project I'm calling the 10-year tray. I'm calling it the 10-year tray because literally it's been in my garage for 10 years. I made 4 of these trays approximately 10 years ago. I painted 3 of them. One red, one white, and one robin's egg blue. And I put some of those vintage iron black handles that used to be on a lot of cabinets, those naughty pine cabinets, on the trays, and I still have those trays. However, I had one more that was still in my garage, and I decided it was time to give it a makeover. So the other fun thing that we're going to be doing is I'm going to be introducing you to DIY paint. Now, many of you may already use DIY paint and love it, but for those of you that don't, welcome to DIY paint. So DIY paint is an awesome clay-based chalk paint. It's very easy to use. It's very beginner friendly to use. It goes on like a dream. It's got great coverage and it dries fairly quickly. So when you're using this DIY paint, you're going to want to apply the paint and then you're going to need to let it cure. Once it's cured, you're going to have to put on a sealer, otherwise the paint can be reactivated by water. So now I'm showing you what is called Big Top. Big Top is one of DIY's top coats. So once you put it on your piece will be sealed. So when you apply your paint, it's going to lighten up a whole lot. But then when you apply Big Top, the top coat, liquid patina, another one of their top coats, or wax, it's going to darken the paint color up and richen up the color. So you can see what it looks like once I start putting on this top coat. Now, once the top coat dries a little bit, it will be a little bit lighter. So this green is called Fancy Farm Girl. So at this point, I've already completely sealed this piece. And the funny thing is, I didn't even know I had this footage. I thought that I had just filmed the handles to show you the gold handles that I was going to put on. And then I started looking for some matching screws. Like I said, I didn't film the part I thought I did, and then I was filming this part. I took this little box out of my junk drawer. I'm sure a lot of you have a junk drawer that has all kinds of little things, and I was looking for the screws to match, and I wasn't having that good of luck. I found 2 or 3 screws, but I couldn't find the last screw. So at this point, I don't even know if I'm going to use these gold handles or I'm going to use some others that are in my stash. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'm so glad you decided to join me again. And if you've never been here, welcome. My name is Emily. I'm with J. Bowen & Company, and I am so glad that you have decided to spend your time with me here today. I went outside to get my drill bits, but I couldn't locate them. It was so cold. So I decided to come back inside, and I was thinking maybe I can just drill a hole with this screw and go right through this tray, but actually it didn't work out. So I decided to move on to putting on the transfers, and then I would come back to adding the handles on the tray. I decided to pull out some large rose transfers from this transfer set. I think it's called Redoute or Redoute. I'm not really quite sure how you say it, but they are very large, kind of pink and red flowers. They are big and beautiful flowers, and the point of these projects is that I wanted to get some really bold and beautiful examples of spring and the DIY paint colors into my booth. I wanted it to have these projects to have some wow factors and for people to be able to get an idea of what the DIY paint looks like, and then just add some spring to my booth. So I thought the easiest way was to paint with these bright colors and then add some big, bold, and beautiful flowers. So if you've never used an IOD transfer or an Iron Orchid Design Transfer, they are very easy to use. You're just going to peel off that backing, and they're going to be sticky, and then you're going to just stick it down to your tray, and then there's a little stick that comes in with all the transfer sets, and you're just going to rub it down until it sticks and comes off, and then you're going to just burnish it in, meaning you're going to rub it down until your transfer adheres to your project. I decided to go with several different roses and then some small ones and just kind of layer them for the most impact. You can find this transfer set as well as many other Iron Orchid Design products and the DIY paint on my website. I will put a link to these items in my description so you can find them there if you're interested in purchasing. So what do y'all think of these large roses? Aren't they gorgeous? So I decided to go ahead and just continue some of the roses off of the tray off to the side. And then after you finish applying your transfers, you're going to need to seal them up with your big top again so that it protects the transfers. And now for the final reveal. I think it turned out pretty good. What do y'all think? Give me a thumbs up if you like this tray. The next project I'm calling the floral vase. This was a vase that I previously DIY'd, that concrete, faux concrete look. I still like the faux concrete look, but I found that vases and things like that, I really don't like that faux concrete look. I like it on animals and things like that, little statues, but not on vases for some reason. I prefer them painted in different colors. I prefer vases in my house either painted black, white, or some shade of brown, dark brown, taupe, beige, something like that. Anyway, so what I'm doing now is I'm showing you the consistency of the DIY paint. I would say it is like a thick pancake batter. I'd seen a lot of people on YouTube painting with DIY paint, but I never saw the consistency of it, and I thought that you might like seeing how thick the paint is. Like I said, it's like a thick pancake batter. That little leather cord on that paintbrush was driving me crazy, mainly because it was wet. And so every time I would paint that little leather strap, the little wet leather strap would hit my hand. But anyway, you're just going to just turn your piece upside down. You're going to give it a coat of paint. I think I went back and gave it a second coat of paint so it was nice and thick. And then I let it cure and dry overnight. You want to make sure that your projects are completely dry before you put the top coat on. So now what I'm doing is adding the top coat. Y'all, I was inspired by a project that Found and Redesigned shared with me over on J. Bowen and Company Creative Group. I saw this and I thought it was absolutely gorgeous, and I thought, well, that'd be fun to recreate. I had first intended to use a different transfer set, but it was in my garage somewhere in a tub and it was way too cold to dig for it. So anyway, I decided to use this gorgeous floral transfer from Botanical. It's a little bit different, but you know, it's got the pink and then the lighter color flowers. So I was inspired by that. And if you haven't joined my free creative group, I'll put that in the description and y'all can join that group and you can share your tips, tricks, and get other ideas and inspiration for other like-minded people like yourself. You're going to love these next two pieces of art. So I purchased two of these different art pieces. They're canvases. I purchased them for $2.75 a piece at a thrift store. And I am going to put this Whimsykel paper, this particular one, it's called Duo Cats. And it comes with two different, very cool, fun, grouchy, eclectic looking cats. So the first thing I did was I cut them apart because I'm going to put them on 2 different canvases. The total size of the paper is 21 inches by 29 inches. I went ahead and painted mine white and I let it dry. And I started these 2 projects before Christmas. So some of y'all are going to ask me, why don't I ever use the iron-on decoupage trick? I promise you one of these days I'm going to use that, but full disclosure, I started these projects before Christmas. So I know some of y'all have seen me do this, and I have a number of videos on this, so I'm going to make this short and sweet. You're just going to spray your paper. You're going to mist it with some water to get out those wrinkles. It's really important. It opens up those fibers, and it takes out the wrinkles in your paper. You're going to do a starter strip of a decoupage medium, because these papers are large, and then you're just going to keep doing about a 3-4 inch strip until you get the papers all the way down onto your project. If you have a brayer, use it on your paper. It takes out the wrinkles. If not, you can use your hands. I thought that it would be good to get these 2 projects finished. I'm trying to finish up projects. You know how it is. Let me know, are y'all like this? Do you ever start projects and don't finish them? I can be guilty of that quite often. My husband is like, why don't you just do one project and finish it? And I'm like, it doesn't work like that. You've got to work on a bunch of them at the same time. So anyway, I'm finally getting around to doing this. So after you have put it down, you're then going to put a layer of your decoupage medium on top. So that's what I did. I did that on this particular project, and then I let it dry. I literally let it dry from before Christmas until January 21st when I finished up this project, or when I started on this project again. And now for the fun part. This is my favorite part. This is when you get to blend in the paper into the canvas and it becomes your own. And it becomes a unique painting. So what you're going to do is you're going to take some colors and gather up some colors that are actually in the Whimsykel paper so that you can blend them together. There's 2 different ways you could do it, or 2 different ways I know you could do it. You can either do this halo effect, which is basically what I'm doing, or you can try to continue the paper into the canvas and make it a seamless look. So what I did is I gathered up 3 different colors. I took, this is Blood Moon that I'm showing you right there, and then Flirtatious is the pink, and Walk on Water is the turquoise blue. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to blend all of these colors together, and then I ended up pulling out some cake batter as well. That's the yellow color, to make a painting out of this. And you're just going to blend and blend and blend until you get the desired result that you want. So these colors, the Blood Moon, the Flirtatious, and the Walk on Water, those are all brand new colors from DIY Paint. They were recently released. 5 new colors were recently released, and so I'm showcasing those colors for you. After you have let them dry, which I let the paint dry overnight, you're going to then seal it again with the top coat. And one cool thing about these paints, what made me fall in love with these paints and decide that I wanted to carry these, is when I was in Wisconsin, we watched one of the teachers, Debbie, who's now one of my friends, from Elsie Lane Art Garage. She showed how you could blend these DIY paints, and being an artist, I have a background in art. I actually have a degree in studio art from 1995. Well, actually, no, I received it in 1999, and a degree in art. So I have always loved to actually paint and do all kinds of things like that. So blending paint is something that comes natural to me and that I love. And when I saw that, I fell in love with it, and I thought, you know, I really want to carry these paints so that I can use them, show them, and just play around with them and just introduce everyone to these paints so that those of you that have never used it can get to know it and love it just like I have come to know it and love it as well. So I'm doing the same thing here. This is going to go really fast because you've already seen how to do this. So what do y'all think about these projects? Do you like these Whimsykel papers and learning how to blend? If you're not into cats and that's not your thing, there are tons of other designs that I carry on my website. There are vintage designs and florals. There are motorcycles and guitars. There's horses, other animals, just about anything. There's patterns. There's just all kind of things. There's neutral colors and bright colors, funky, and then things that are just normal as well. Debbie also told me about these Whimsykel papers, and I knew immediately that I wanted to carry them because I thought these are the coolest things I've ever seen. So I immediately jumped on it and applied to carry these papers, and the rest is history. So I hope y'all are enjoying seeing these papers and just learning how to apply them. You can make your own art for very cheap, or if you want to sell the art, you can make them for very inexpensive as well, and you can sell them as well. I decided to put a price tag of $64.99 on these two pieces. I could probably have gone more, but I think that's a fair price. They're pretty large pieces and they're really cool and different. And I think someone will find a perfect place for these pieces. I know there's a lot of cat lovers out there. My daughter says I should give them to one of her best friends because she loves cats. So she's like, I think they're creepy, but I think you should give one to her because she would like it. So, okay, so we're back to the blending. I'm taking out that blood moon and I'm just adding it to the bottom. So if you, maybe you don't know how to blend, but just think about what colors you want to put, into your edge of your painting. So you can see I added the walk on water, the rose or teal color, and then I added the purple, and then when you mix them together they kind of turn into like a dark blue. So you're just going to keep painting and painting. And then I added this green color. I love this green color. I'm going to be doing a project here in a second with this green color, so y'all stick around to see that. I think you're going to love that color. It's called, I believe it's electrified or electrifying, something like that. Hey, if you're enjoying these projects, I would love if you gave me a like and hit the thumbs up. If you would like to see more projects like these, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. Just hit that subscription button and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of the upcoming projects. I have a lot of really cool and exciting projects coming up. I cannot wait to share all of the projects that I have with you. So if you're liking these projects, like I said, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I am trying to grow my channel and it would really help if you would subscribe, and I would love to have you here. I also love to hear all of your comments and opinions and tips and tricks. So if you would like to make a comment, I promise to you that I will get back to you. I love talking to you. I love the social aspect of this. It's really fun to make new friends and talk to people, and some of you have been so loyal and I really appreciate that. So leave me a comment if you like this project and let me know. So here they are in my booth. Like I said, I marked them at $64.99, and I just put them right in my booth on top of my DIY paint. I'm so proud of my new display. Going to be getting these new wood rounds that showcase the color, but the paints are located, like I said, on my website or in my store at Out of the Cedar Chest in Gainesville, Georgia. You can find the Whimsykel papers, the DIY paint. I also carry Rethunk junk paint there, and JRV papers and stencils. Okay, guys, I know I'm talking a lot in this video, but I'm just excited and I guess I have a lot to say. So now I am making over this cheese box. I actually found this cheese box at a Goodwill in Wisconsin. So it's really a real bona fide cheese box. I don't know if it's very old or not, but it's a tall one. It's taller than normal cheese boxes that I normally see. So I started off painting it upside down. I forgot to get a shot of the whole thing. So this is the cheese box upside down. I'm using that color, and like I said, it's either electrified or electrifying or something like that. But it is an absolutely stunning, gorgeous green color if you like lime green. I love these colors. You know, they remind me of the colors back in the 90s. I was a teenager in the early 90s, and all of our swimsuits and things like that were these bright, gorgeous colors. And, you know, there for a while, it was so out of style to see neon stuff, but I like it now, looking back on it. So I just let the paint dry overnight, and then the next morning, which was this morning, I put that coat on them on the projects. Before I went to work, I put the coat of the big top on the projects, and when I came back this afternoon or this evening from work, I added these transfers. So this is another one of the transfers from the Rose Botanical transfer set. That transfer set has so many good transfers. I have made a ton of projects from this one transfer set. So I just applied it to the box, and then I'm burnishing it in, and now I'm adding the top coat. Y'all let me know which one of these projects is your favorite. And also, do you like these bright colors? Are they too bright for you? Are you more of a neutral person? What do you think? Let me know in the comments what you think about these bright floral projects. Do you want to see more projects like these, or do you want to go back to neutrals? I think I'm going to do some blue and white projects as well. I'm excited about that as well. So y'all just let me know what you want to see. So which one of these projects is your favorite out of all the projects? I love the color of this cheese box and how it turned out. I love the wow factor. I think it will add a lot of spring to my booth. Next up, you can choose what YouTube recommends for you or my latest video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you next time.